What's good, people? Welcome to another episode of the Undiluted Football Show. Oli Gunnar Social. In the words of my guy from Jingrito TV, TikTok. TikTok, because let's start it off. We all know what's going on. United, my team. You know what? Everyone's thinking it's October right now. It's October and I'm sleeveless, bro, because I'm hot. Because Man United made me hot today. Like, let's get into it. United lost 5-0 at Old Trafford to Liverpool. The annoying thing about it is that no one is surprised. Now, if Man United lost 5-0 to Liverpool, that's a big shock, regardless in any type of context. But no one was surprised. Paul Scholes literally said it during the week. If United there's so many things wrong with today's game, and this is why he ultimately needs to go now. Because remember, for people that know me, I haven't been Ollie in, but I've been very reluctant to be Ollie out. And not reluctant to be Ollie out, but in a sense that I wanted to sort out the midfield first and then Ollie can go. But now I'm seeing, after this performance, he needs to go. And here's my reasons. Everyone watched that 3-2 game against Atalanta. Everyone watched it. We saw how we played and we won the game 3-2. And the reason we won the game 3-2 is because really and truly Atalanta had a makeshift team. Martin Darun is not a centre-back. Demiral came off injured. They outplayed us the first half and we came back and won. So if I'm a manager and the team that started, first thing first that went wrong with today's game is that it was an unchanged side. Now, I feel like you don't even have to be a manager. I think you just have to be a normal person with some footballing brain, in a sense that, you know what, if I started a side that conceded 2 goals to Atalanta, why am I going to make an unchanged side? Why do I think this side is going to be any different to a better team in Liverpool? Paul Scholes literally said, if Man United feel like they could play like that against Liverpool, watch what is going to happen. So reason number one, that's why he's got to go. The side choosing was poor. Someone should have looked at that and been like, come on. These guys conceded 2 to Atalanta. How many did they concede to Liverpool? That's reason number one. Reason number two is that we set ourselves up for that game. The first goal, if people look at the first goal, Wan-Bissaka's pushed really high up to press, and so is Greenwood, and they've left our left side completely open. Now, we've all seen the pressing stats this season. Man United is not a pressing team, and if we're gonna press, you have to press together. You can't just press by yourself. You press as a team. You go the front line, go and win that ball back as a team. Liverpool do it. Other teams do it. City do it. They know how to press. So I'm looking at that team now, and I'm thinking, you know what, Man United are not going to press Liverpool. Let's do what Man United are good at doing, counter-attack, right? That should have been our plan. Let's just defend. Liverpool are a better team than us. Let's just defend deep and break and get them on the counter, because we did create some half chances on the counter today. We even created the first chance of the game. If Bruno actually finished that, it could have been a different story. I digress. We're a dangerous team on the counter, and the fact that you couldn't just implement that game plan, that's basic stuff, man. I'm so sorry, basic. And I'm looking at these players, and the players respect him. And from what I know, and from people that have insider knowledge in United, the players respect him, and the players want to play for him. But at the same time, that can only get you so far. You have to. Man United are at a stage where we have a lot of good players. We need to start contending and competing at this high level with the likes of your Chelseas, your Liverpools, and your Cities. And right now, we can't do that with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We can't do it. Like, Ole, thank you for the times, but it's time to go now. Like, it's time to go, and the reason is you taking us as far as you could. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm happy with where he's taken us, because if you look at us a few years ago, our squad is much better. There's things going off outside of the pitch. So we're in the right direction. But to get to that next stage and to compete where those, because we are levels behind those, man, levels. And if you look at our personnel and our players, we shouldn't be that behind. levels wise. We've kept one clean sheet in the past 21 games. Like, we're not setting up right. And even if, like, I'd normally blame the personnel, and I can still blame the personnel. And I did say if another manager comes, I don't think it will be a massive, massive difference. But I'm looking at it now. If another manager comes, we will set up completely different to Man United. And I feel like these players, you watch them play for United and you watch them play for the international teams. Now, I know it's different, but I'm just looking at the individual player. And it's not the same. I feel like, is this the same brother? Like, there's so many things I can get onto it, but ultimately, he needs to go. I think he's now officially out of his depth. That was basic stuff. I didn't expect to beat Liverpool. No one expected to beat us, Liverpool. It would have been nice, but no one expected it. But we expected you to use your tactical nous and counter that, and counter them at least. Sit back and counter, get a result, do something. Because we've got this hard run of fixtures. And what's unfortunate is that when it was like 5, I was thinking, okay, the worse it gets, the more pressure that's on him for us to sack him, which unfortunately has got to that stage now. And I'm still not fully convinced that we will sack him. I'm not fully convinced. Who knows? I could be wrong. Tomorrow he could be sacked and then we go again. But I still don't know, man. There's so many. We're so far behind. We are so far behind. It's a joke. And the players are out there. It's not even the players. Well, it is a bit of the players. I don't know, but we need another system. We need a vision. We need a philosophy. Even Schweinsteiger tweeted and said that this team has no vision and no, like, bro, Schweinsteiger wasn't even that good for us. So the fact that he's looking at United and thinking, nah, like, the United I played at least we had something and these men don't. And we have much better players than we do now. So that's all I'm going to do and get onto it because we've got other things to talk about. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's because you look at it now, we're 8 points off the top, I think. 8 points off the top. I don't want to say the tower is completely done because mathematically it's not. But we have to capitalize on Chelsea losing games whilst we win and everyone above us dropping points while we win. That's very hard to do right now. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm not completely conceding the title race because I can't predict the future. But I'm looking at it now and why am I even saying title race, bro? We're not contenders. We can't compete with these elite clubs. And our next home game is City. We've got Tottenham. We could probably even still beat Tottenham. If we lose to Tottenhim, they've definitely gone. Or if he's not gone before then. But we can't. I can't do it anymore. Like, I was defending him. And a lot of the criticism that people had of him was not solely on him. But I'm looking at the decisions he made today, and that's on him. He can only blame himself. So, yeah, that's Man United chat done. I don't want to do it anymore. Big ups to Mo Salah, though, a hat-trick. I think the first player to score a league hat-trick at Old Trafford, which is ridiculous. First player since R9 to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford again, which is ridiculous. So that just shows the level. Okay, I'm not saying he's R9, but he's world-class. And right now, he's in form. He's the best player in the world right now. Best in-form player in the world, because I still think like Messi exists. But big up Mo Salah. He's the best informed player in the world right now. And we move. But anyway, let's go to the other side of Manchester. City beat Brighton comfortably 4-1. See, this is the thing. City are going to Brighton and beating them comfortably 4-1. Man United are going to struggle against Brighton. They'll probably still get the same 3 points that City will get if they're lucky. But it's going to be a completely different game. And we need someone with a philosophy that can make these players keep the ball. I don't know. I'm not getting onto it. But anyway, big ups Foden. Foden looks good once again. And I like that he's playing in the midfield now. Like, I know he played in the midfield for England a bit and then the same. But Foden's looking decent. City are looking decent. City have got United soon anyway, so they're going to sesh us up anyway. But we move. Chelsea, 7-0 against Norwich. Norwich just, they don't need to be here. It's just an easy 3 points. And I think United are going to United won't struggle against Norwich, but they'll make a meal out of it. They're not going to beat them 7-0. And yeah, but big up Chelsea though. Chelsea look good. Chelsea look good right now. I know they've lost one game and that was to City, but they're still top of the league. They look good. You can't you can't dispute Chelsea. You can't have fault in them, and that was without Lukaku as well. So big up to Chelsea. As for Norwich, you guys will see you back in the Championship next season. So and then we'll see you back in the Premier the season after. So what's new? On Friday, Arsenal beat Villa. It was a much better performance than the one they put in against Palace. And some of the goals were lucky. Smith Rowe scored a deflection. Thomas Partey got his first Arsenal goal. And I'm not saying this it's a turn of events for Arsenal, but they won. It is what it is. They look better than how they were playing against Villa. So, I mean, against Palace. So it's good in that sense. But I'm not going to start coming here and saying that Arteta's found his thing. And they're still early days. Watford. What win. What win for Watford. It's man. I don't think anyone expected that. That's what's crazy. Like, everyone looked at that game. Just looking at, I'm thinking, how many different scorers did they have that game, Watford? Just going to quickly check on Josh King got a hat-trick. Emmanuel Dennis scored. Yeah, like, and to lose 5-2 Everton, like, that's kind of mad against Watford as well. Like, no one expected that. So, big up to Watford on a massive away win. West Ham beat Spurs. It's funny that I was speaking to a Spurs friend of mine today, and I said, who do you have? And it was like West Ham away. And I was thinking, this is kind of one of the first times where I look at that game and West Ham are the favourites, which is scary to think. We're in scary times, people. Well, not scary times, but we're in good times for West Ham fans. And for any other fan, it's a bit... But, West Ham, again, look good. Comfortable win. Antonio on the score sheet. You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. So there wasn't really any other massive stories in the Premier League. I feel like the massive story is Man United losing 5-0 to Liverpool. But what do we do? What is next for Man United? Because everyone's saying Conte or Mancini. If it was down to me personally, I would take Zidane. And the reason I would take Zidane, I feel like he's underrated as a coach tactically as well. I feel like because he was such a great player and he had a very good team at his disposal, that no one just rates him tactically. Like, if you look at those Real Madrid teams, he won those 3 Champions Leagues in a row, the only manager to ever do it. If you look at those 3 Champions Leagues he won, they were all coached differently. Different formations, same personnel, and with a bit of tweaks and that, but different formations, different personnel. And he's a winner, man. And I feel like if Zidane comes in, maybe Pogba stays, does that, gets back into the team, gets the best out of these players. We just need someone to come in with a system that works, because we all know what teams play like. We know what Chelsea's going to do. We know what Liverpool's going to do. We've got City. You don't know what Man United's going to do. It's like, crap, should we counter today? Should we just Rashford and Inshallah? Like, what do we do? And Man United are in a delicate situation right now because we've got players that are not playing. Oli has players that he trusts, and he doesn't. Van der Beek hasn't touched a minute in a long time. Jesse Lingard hasn't played in a long time. Bear in mind, he scored the winner at West Ham. He scored against Newcastle. He looked an okay figure for United this season so far. He's barely had any minutes as well. Pogba, who started off the season well, hasn't even been playing bad. And even Gary Neville said it, that it's not the midfield situation is not a Pogba. It's not a Pogba problem. Like, Pogba came on today. Obviously, he got the red card, but I just thought to myself when I saw that lineup today, I said, what other manager would not start Paul Pogba in a big game like that, if that makes sense? Like, I was thinking, I saw that line, I saw McFred, and I was just like, okay, I know why he's playing McFred, and I know why he's doing it. I'm not saying it's right, but I know why he's doing it. But what manager doesn't play their best players in a big game? Not a must-win game, but a big game like that. Like, if I was Paul Pogba, I must be thinking, what? Like, France. If France had a cup final, do you think Pogba's on the bench because Deschamps wants to play McFred? Do you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. And it's mad because Pogba's contract runs in the end of the season, and if Man United were winning he would stay. This is the annoying part. And I feel like we're not going to get, in the words of Pep Guardiola, we cannot replace him. There's not many people out there. The only person that I could say that can kind of do that type of job is probably in the Premier League is Yuri Tielemans. But then again, different type of baller towards Pogba. But I would take that as an okay replacement. Again, I don't know what's next for Pogba, because before, when the Ronaldo situation came in, and Fabrizio Romano said it, and he was like, Pogba's open to negotiate with the club. But right now, if this is the thing, in fairy tale land, Solskjaer goes and Zidane comes in, Pogba stays most likely. Or if we start, I feel like if a new manager comes in and Man United start winning, Pogba will stay, because I don't think he will try and leave on a free. I don't think Man United will let him leave on a free. They'll either try to get rid of him in January to cash in at least, because that's if he goes on a free, it's not right. It's not right at all. But it's unfortunate, because Pogba should be starting in that midfield. I don't know how he doesn't start in that midfield constantly. I couldn't tell you. I'm not saying he's the answer to all our issues, but as I said, you're going into a big game. You've got to have, these are big game players. You've got to have your best players in there. It doesn't make sense, because what is weird now is that, cool, Oli reverted to McFred for big games, and I even saw the stat before the game was Man United concede 0.8 goals when we start McFred, and then 1.6 when we don't start McFred. So obviously, if you're a stats man, you're thinking, okay, McFred is the answer. We conceded 5 today with McFred. We conceded 2 in 45 minutes at Atalanta with McFred. So that ship sailed. Where do we go from here now? I couldn't tell you. I feel like Pogba's got to be in there, and then we just got to find a fit, whether it's Matic, Fred, Van der Beek, or McTominay. One of the two. I don't know, but that's what's just going to have to happen until further notice. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, but what can you do? What can you do if you're a Man United fan? Because if Solskjaer goes, then another manager comes in with a different system, and then we try something. But until then, we don't know. And I don't think Solskjaer's going to go unless Man United bite the bullet and become drastic. But we'll see. We'll see. We've got a lot of football coming ahead next week. United have got a lot of stressful games coming ahead. So we'll see. Maybe next week we'll be talking about a new manager. But as I said, we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching another episode of the Undiluted Football Show. You can like, share, subscribe to your friends. You can follow me on socials over there at Toni Afoke. Follow Undiluted Media on Twitter at Undiluted Media 1 and at Undiluted Media on Instagram as well. It's been your boy Toni Afoke. Until next time, people.